This is the summarized main story of Zenless Zone Zero version 2.7. You received a message from Nicole inviting you to participate in a competition called Hollow Champion, where participants earn points by defeating Ethereals and competing against each other. During the battle against the creator back then, your eye sort of evolved or intensified, and ever since then, you have occasionally felt sick, especially when using your eye's power. And you and your sibling are discussing whether or not to reject Nicole's invitation. Just then, two new characters visited the shop, Norma and Valina. They belong to the faction Marcel Group, a company that makes Bangboos and was once led by the Lady Sunbringer. They are there to inquire about a special material that was present during your battle with the creator, flint porcelain, which has strong capabilities for stabilizing surrounding ether. They also lend you a bamboo pendant charm made of flint porcelain because, mysteriously, you seem to feel better and your condition improves when you are in contact with it. Coincidentally, the Hollow Champion Grand Prize features a flint porcelain W engine. Therefore, you ultimately accept Nicole's invitation to join the competition under the Cunning Hair's name. Meanwhile, a scene is revealed after Valina and Norma leave. It appears they already know something hidden about you, and they decide to wait and see how things play out first. Both of you then head to Starloop Tower to register for the competition. For now, the Cunning Hair's team participating in this event consists of you, Billy, and Nicole. The organizers brief the contestants on the rules and hand everyone an Ethereal card, which tracks points based on the hunted Ethereals and provides navigation during the competition, although it doesn't even look like a card. Then, a mysterious new character named Ramiel, who had been previously teased by the game, greets you while you are examining the Grand Prize Flint Porcelain W engine. She is also a contestant, and she seems suspiciously aware that your specific target in this competition is that W engine. Before leaving, you could actually check the participants beforehand, and from there, aside from the NPCs, you also see Ramiel, Sons of Caledon, and Promia participating in the competition. The next morning, you overhear something that sounds like someone breaking into your house. Both of you rush in, only to find out that it was no thief, but Cisia. Cisia reveals that she also wants to join your team to participate in the Hollow Champion, though you can already tell that her reason for joining is likely related to an investigation. She does not reveal it yet. However, this is a far too last-minute change of plan, as registration for the competition has already closed and the event is scheduled for later today. Just then, Billy rushes in and informs you that Nicole has to withdraw from the competition due to a stomachache, which is likely Cisia's doing rather than a coincidence, as she wants to force her way into the group. Consequently, the team has no choice but to let Cisia join under Nicole's name. The Hollow Champion is underway. The team defeats a bunch of Ethereals and everything seems normal. As you reach the rest area, the organizers announce that due to various uncontrollable reasons, there are significant differences in everyone's points. Because of this, they have suddenly decided to update the Ethereal cards mid-event. These will now provide contestants with navigation to high-point Ethereal areas. Furthermore, it is mentioned that this update is being handled by the event's sponsor, Tops. You immediately find all of this suspicious, as you believe deploying an impromptu update mid-event is unethical and could lead to bugs. Plus, everyone is inside the Hollow, where things could get serious if something goes wrong. Hence, you decided to secretly investigate this matter while continuing to compete. However, Cecilia suddenly backs down, claiming she senses a strong scent of blood and feels uneasy about what will happen next. After conducting some investigation, you manage to find out that the new navigation routes to the high-value ethereal locations are fake. Instead, the routes change slightly every minute, ultimately leading all contestants to the same mysterious endpoint. You sense something fishy and think that it is dangerous, so you decide to help every contestant by hacking into the data to change the routes, redirecting them so they can instead exit the hollow safely.
接收传输方案，正在同步解读。数据漏洞已定位，等待发起指令。
接下来就剩我成为所有人的绳匠。
这招成功了！
搞定。
The hack works, but since some contestants have already been caught in the endpoint trap, you decide to head there yourself to see what is happening. On the way, you stumble upon Ethereals that are completely frozen and pale in appearance. They emit no ether activity, as if their time has been stopped, and white feathers are scattered around them. Cecilia then sheepishly reveals her true motive. She is there under Surveillance order to investigate the mystery of these frozen Ethereals. As you move forward, you finally reach the endpoint trap to find a black wolf slaughtering everyone in its vicinity, whether they are Ethereals, trapped contestants, or lost civilians. His name is Romeo, the story's main antagonist, and it appears he is the primary cause of the fake navigation data that led everyone to his slaughterhouse. Cecilia seems to have known Romeo previously. She is incredibly terrified of him and wants to leave immediately. She refers to him as a sweeper, suggesting her unrevealed backstory is somehow connected to him. Fortunately, Belle brings the organizers to the scene just in time. Although visibly angry, Romeo does not resist further. In the end, Romeo has been suspended together with the event. Back at Starlook Tower, you are informed that, although it is obvious Romeo should be charged with murder, he was not arrested by the authorities immediately. Instead, the event organizers and Tops took him into custody first for investigation. You also stumble upon an argument between Romeo and Promea. Romeo uses his arrogance to taunt her, suggesting that the two of them also share a connected backstory. Additionally, Promea and Cecilia have a brief conversation in which Promea tells Cecilia that she should not be there, likely referring to PubSec as a whole rather than Cecilia individually. Promea claims the matter contains classified Tops intel and that the Krampus Compliance Authority will be taking over the investigation. Cecilia also seems to have some history with Promea. True to her scaredy cat personality, she is once again absolutely terrified. You decide to bring Cecilia back to your store to calm her down. While eating all your snacks, she reveals her backstory. Before Jane took her in to join public security, Cecilia lived a lonely, poor, and wandering life since childhood in the Outer Rings. Back then, before Caesar took over the Outer Rings as Sons of Calydon, there was a group called the Sweepers, where Promea and Romeo were among the team members. These sweepers would do the cleaning, or more accurately, exterminate and kill the Ethereals, useless corrupted patients, rule breakers, and anyone standing in their way. Desperate for food and survival, Cecilia would quietly follow the sweepers. Once they finished cleaning, she would sneak in to scavenge for supplies. Cecilia recalls a scene where she witnessed Promea slaughtering thieves who were likely scavenging alongside her. While Cecilia was being bullied by these thieves and called useless, Promea appeared and killed them all. Believing she was the next target, Cecilia fled in desperation, which was the primary reason she remains terrified of Romeo and Promea today. Even though the Sweepers has technically been disbanded, former members like Romeo still carry out their bloodlust in other ways. Cecilia concludes by begging you to pull out of the matter, as she fears things will spiral out of control and become too risky. Just then, a sudden pain throws you into darkness. You faint and fall into a dream about your mysterious hidden past.
成为联合性抓住我们反恶卡洛斯。不应该是这样的，不应该是废墟的。要去的地方，想起来了。去告诉他们，我已经抓住了太阳，太阳。
You wake up and you have tons of questions about your dream. You find your sibling has already brought you to your bed, and Cixia is sleeping right beside you, waiting for you to wake up. Seeing that Cixia and sibling is still asleep in the late night, you decide to let them rest and head out to get some fresh air. You stumble upon Romeo once again in front of the arcade. The two of you have a very odd casual conversation about video game characters, which probably has many hidden meanings behind about their goals and personality that the devs want us to know, but I'm too lazy, so you can decipher them yourself if you want. And eventually, it is confirmed that both of you are after the Flint Porceloy W engine. You also briefly tell her about your nightmare, which piques her interest.
我开始有些好奇了，噩梦对你而言究竟意味着什么？原来如此。
After you bid farewell to Romeo, Cixia wakes up and rushes out to check on you. You assure her that you're okay, and the two of you spend the rest of the night together. Cixia correctly deduces that your reason for joining the competition is related to your recent fainting, which suggests you are suffering from some kind of illness. You reveal to her that you are after the Flint Porceloy W engine, as it can ease the symptoms related to your eye. With the Holo Champion scheduled to restart in the coming days, Cixia makes you promise that you will never use your eye's powers when the time comes, hoping to prevent your condition from worsening. Then, a scene reveals that Romeo is actually working under Tops, and that Tops is the one pulling the strings behind the scenes. It is very likely that their goal is also the Flint Porceloy W engine. Romeo's orders were to find a way to thin the herd, make them drop out, and act as the funnel for the first round of cuts. However, Tops is disappointed in how Romeo executed these orders, as he slaughtered everyone instead. So in the end, Tops dumps Romeo. Romeo is furious, so he secretly plots to bite back on his own. The next morning, Cixia receives a call from a superior, Severian, who brings everyone bad news. It turns out that Romeo has publicly announced he stole all the prizes for the Holo Champion and scattered them throughout the Holo, effectively turning the event into a dangerous treasure hunt. Though it is likely a trap, Romeo invites everyone to join the fun. Severian believes that their true target, which is the person responsible for creating the faded Ethereals, will definitely go after the prizes, so he orders Cixia to find them. You request to accompany Cixia since you are after the W engine anyway, and Severian agrees. Inside the Holo, you meet Belle, Lighter, and Lucy, who decide to help you snatch the W engine back. You also find several wanted criminals working for Romeo with broken arms and legs. They claim that the Porceloy W engine is with Romeo, and that Ramiel was the one who defeated them single-handedly and popped their joints. With Cixia using her innate snake sensing ability, she reveals two different paths. So, the team splits into two, with you and Cixia taking the less dangerous one in pursuit of Romeo and the W engine. On your way, you once again stumble upon the faded Ethereals. As you are examining them, Promea appears out of nowhere. Cixia thought that Promea is about to attack the both of you, so she overcomes her fear for the first time and engages in a brief battle. This is actually a notable character development of her, because previously, her scaredy cat personality and traumatic past would have caused her to run away at the first sign of danger.
还没查出什么眉目吗？再等一下。西西弗，再联络一下塞维里安。西西弗，普罗米亚。该结束了。
You initially accused Promea of being allied with Romeo, but she denies it, explaining that there has been a misunderstanding. She reveals that she is also investigating the fated Ethereals, same as Cixia. So you ask Promea why she attacked Cixia instead of proposing they work together. She replies that no other parties are permitted to interfere with their investigation. Cixia remains irritated, and just as the two are about to engage in another battle, Promea receives a change of plan. She is now ordered to pursue Romeo. With that, she lowers her weapon, abandons her intent to attack, and leaves. As the two teams continue their pursuit in their own ways, a fissure eventually leads all of you to the same spot. Shortly after, you encounter Romeo, who is in possession of the W engine. He briefly reveals to the group that he was once merely a pawn. Now, he expresses a satisfaction in the idea of a discarded pawn biting back. Consumed by his own agenda, he declares his intent to slaughter everyone and engages you in a battle. You defeat Romeo. However, just as you are about to get your hands on the W engine, Ramiel appears out of nowhere.
结束了。
大家没受伤吧？
终于到手了。明明已经提醒过你，要提防悄然接近你的可疑人士了，但你还是太早放松警惕了。好好市民小姐，抱歉了，这东西我就收下了，我会用它取回属于我的东西。最后再给你一个忠告吧，下次的对决可不能再让我离你这么近了。刚刚的是什么呀？这是什么？我的引擎呢？引擎被抢走了。
什么？引擎不见了？
刚才那个声音是拉米尔。
It turns out she is the individual with the ability to stop the time of living creatures, the one responsible for the fated Ethereals all along. She freezes everyone in place and takes the W engine. It seems only you are briefly aware of what is happening while time is stopped, so afterwards, we report what you saw to Severian and the public security, including Ramiel's appearance, only to find that the name Ramiel doesn't even exist in their database. As the story draws to a close, a scene featuring Norma and Valina is revealed once more. Through their conversation, it becomes clear that they are also discussing about Ramiel, noting that she must be stopped before she returns to a place called Ros Khalifa. That was the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed.